Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As for the current time of 9:15 a.m. on the Eastern Time on June 15th on Monday. Hope you guys have a good weekend and also happy Monday. Apologies for me being kind of MIA for quite some time. It's been a lot of new development on my personal front, but also with respect to my business as well. So I've been just doing a lot of internal sorting, and my life has been kind of overwhelming. But I'm glad that I am able to allocate some time to catch up with you guys. And with respect to the format of the video, is consistent with what we have done historically. When we talk about crypto on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. But if there are selective coins that you would like to talk about, feel free to comment on the comment section below. And obviously subscribe to my Patreon if you want to have more one-on-one coaching, or subscribe to our daily updates as well. And also we'll talk about the equity side as well. So let's dive into the crypto side real quick. As a recording time of 9:16 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum traded $3,670 right now. And as you can see, just doing like a recap of what's happening for the last couple months, right? We have obviously ran up to try to touch the all-time high, the $4,871 in 2021 in October, and ever since then, with the whole crypto winter, we've been kind of sliding off, and we had derated for quite some time with respect to being below the 1900 mark, the 1850 mark, which is more of a support slash resistance level. And we derated that for quite some time, for approximately about a year. And then with the whole market revolution, and also with respect to the Bitcoin ETF, but also just with respect to the additional crypto activity that's been happening across the market, combined with the bull market we've been experiencing on the equity market front as well, we have elevated quite dramatically from the 1650 mark all the way to the 4000 mark. Try to touch all-time high again, which we can see clearly as of the timing of March 31st. We did not break through. So now the question is, like, where do we go from here, right? But let's take a look at the Bitcoin side of the equation first. You can see that with respect to the Bitcoin side, you have definitely elevated a lot more. We have broken all-time high recently at the $73,816, $826, apologies. And we are just kind of holding on by a thread right now, holding above 69,000 mark. Try to get back up to the 70. But the question is, again, do we see us keep going and breaking all-time high over and over again? It seems like Bitcoin is definitely more on the forefront, and Ethereum is kind of like the secondary. It's like the older brother, younger brother type of dynamics going so far. So we can dive into the technical to dissect where we go from here. So let's go to Bitcoin first, and then we go to Ethereum, and then we go to the equity side to see how the market shakes out as well. You can see that right now we're at the 70 out of 70 on the monthly, so it's quite extensive. I would say red in terms of the risk profile territory on the monthly spectrum. On the weekly spectrum, we are on the right side of the spectrum for some reason. You can see that we've crossed down, which drive this level of sell-off from 73,000 all the way to at one point $56,714. And as you form that death cross, you will obviously further this sell-off, again hitting the 56,000, but you recuperate it, and being recuperated because of the fact that 62,100 is technically a support level that we have formed, right? Basically this like this bridge that we've formed here, and now we just try to kind of see which way we're going. And the weekly is showing more of a bullish sign than a bearish sign, even though it's at the 67 out of 70 mark. But in terms of like how extensive we can reach to break all-time high, like above the 73,800 mark, I would say we might break it above, but it will really require some sort of like a major catalyst on the news front, some additional positive news on the ETF front to really drive the market to go up from here. But what I see in front of us is that it will go up, but the pressure for it to go up, the inertia is not strong enough to keep going, right? And then on the daily, you could see that with the 54 out of 70 is also on the right side of the spectrum. So we cross down, which drive this oscillation. We've been crossing up and down for quite some time. 1, 2, 3 times now. We're about to do the fourth time. So again, near term, we do see some elevation, but again, the elevation is not going to be that significant. I would say maybe touching 75,000 mark would be um, the highest it could go to. To see like going up to like 80 or 90 or 100,000, I think that will be a pretty slim chance. With respect to Ethereum, you could see that we have, been kind of just like dragging our butt across the spectrum. You could see this elevations of this green candle was driven by the Ethereum ETF news, which is obviously a very positive signal, really pointing at Ethereum, which allow us to, go up from, when in May 20th from the 3,000 mark all the way up to, approximating 4,000 at one point, right? But you can see that we're just kind of plateauing. We are on the right side of the spectrum, similar to Bitcoin, that we ideally should cross up, then crossing down. So touching 4,000 again would not be a big surprise. With respect to the weekly, you do see that we have crossed up with this golden cross right here that formed this green candle from this 3,150 all the way to the 4,000. Right now we are just kind of mute across the spectrum, very flat, looking for a next direction, which the monthly will tell us. Seems like the monthly is moderately extended, I would say. We're on the wrong side of the spectrum. We are looking for some sort of an apex for us to cross back down with the 65 out of 70. So that's a little bit extended. But again, it's do we see like it breaking to 4,000? We might touch it on a just like a very very incrementally, and then come back down. For us to like see this to go up to like 5,000, 6,000 in a near term will be just illogical based on what the chart is telling us. And then take a look at the equity front. So if you look at CNBC, just as of this news this morning, you could see that the stock futures is slipping as traders looking to see what the Fed's decision will look like with respect to the interest rate, the inflationary data, and that will obviously let us know how is the debt problem that we are enduring with the U.S. economy going forward will drive the major cap companies to go up or go down from here. So we shall see, right? So let's take a look at it on the technical front to see what's going on. You could see that monthly we are quite extended at the 70 out of 70. We are also on basically like a rocket ship, up and away, without any clear like guidance of selling off yet, because we seem to still continue to try to form an apex. But again, this is like a all-time high new territory, so technically there's no resistance level above this, but more of a support level below it. But let's take a look at the weekly. What's telling us? So the weekly is also showing some sign of bullishness. So you can see that we're crossing up. We're about to form a golden cross, but we are at the 70 out of 70 mark on a weekly. So it is very extended. So the equity market is clearly extended across the spectrum. But let's take a look at what the daily is saying. The daily is also kind of confusing, right? You could see that we're kind of oscillating on a sideways fashion, up and down at the 64 out of 70. So it's quite extended across the spectrum. But the caveat that we need to understand is that we are quite extended, and also we are all-time high as well. So technically there's no like resistance level from above. So technically you could keep going up from here, but we are kind of risking our our risk tolerance at this point right now. It's like, do you want to hold on when you or buy in at a relatively extended level, right? I think the answer would be no, because the market is quite polarizing at this moment, right? We're all-time high, but holding on by a lot of threats. I would say is mainly driven by the interest rate fluctuations, but also with respect to a lot of the AI stocks. Looking at Nvidia, is at the 1,200 mark, which is insane, right? You could see that we are clearly, in big trouble, right? We are, I mean, in big trouble in terms of like if you buy it now, it will definitely be huge trouble because of how extended you are. You're basically gambling your money right now. And you could see how extremely extended we are on monthly, weekly, and daily. So buying at this moment is kind of like buying into a bubble that might blow up any days now. Obviously, AI is the new revolution that you see with the whole ecosystem, right? With a lot of companies that are adopting AI, a lot of new AI companies being adopted. So a lot of companies obviously will use what NVIDIA provides, which is like the supercomputer chips, right? But are we fully baked into the existing ecosystem on the top line revenue and also the bottom line earnings perspective? I would say the answer is no. So it means that it's prematurely pumped. So when that pulls back, obviously you're gonna see a large correction coming, which ties that with the equity market on the SPY front, just makes it a double risky move, right? So my guidance is that equity and also the crypto market are quite extended across the spectrum, holding on by a thread. And I think following through the technical that we talked about in the video on the specific levels will give you a good guidance on where the dollar cost average at. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have more questions that you would like to, talk to me about, obviously subscribe to our Patreon, which is in the link below. I do have my daily updates, so it can, break this chart down into more clear perspective for you. And if you want my one-on-one coaching, obviously subscribe to our coaching sessions on Patreon as well. Appreciate you. Have a good day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care. Bye.